Greetings. This video is going to show you what you're supposed to be doing, and what it's in the handout. What you're going to do is you're going to go to CodingBat.com and you'll create an account. I already have an account, so you'll create an account using your Valpo email address, please. Although I guess it's not necessary. And after that, you'll be logged in. And the next thing I want you to notice, so this is going to be a website where you can type in some code and then run it and see whether it works. And it has these very simple, very exact exercises. And you get them. It'll tell you whether you got them right or wrong. It will tell you the input which caused it to be right or wrong. So you can decide how to fix your code. But before you do any of that, I want you to go to Prefs. And then I want you to go to Teacher Share and share it with me, because we're going to be doing a bunch of exercises. These are online exercises, and then I'll see which ones you've tried and which ones you've got right. And then that way I'll know, first of all, whether you're actually working on it, but also if I see that you're trying some and you're not getting them right, then that can be really valuable for helping you to learn and do it and pass the class, right? So go to Teacher Share, Prefs, Teacher Share, put my address in there. Okay? And you're going to hit share, and then in the memo line put your name. So that way it'll show up with your name as opposed to your email address when I'm taking a look. So that's what you're going to do after you create your account, so that we can cooperate in a class, right? Then I want you to go to Python, and in the handout I've shown you some exercises. I listed some exercises that I want you to do, and we'll just take a quick look. This one, they're all under warm-up 1, and I've picked some that are just the boolean stuff that were in your lectures, which is kind of new material, and then a little bit of old material, some numerical stuff, and there's a little bit of string stuff. Just a small number of exercises. So let's just pick one. Let's try posneg over here. Okay, and let me erase my former answer. Sorry about that. Okay, so what do we see when we do posneg? We see that it is telling you have a function. It gives you the def part. So the def part is here, and I think I want to try and blow this up a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, that's better. So the def part of the function is here. So you're getting 3 things in. All right, 2 numbers, A and B, and then negative is going to be what? A boolean. It's going to be true or false. So this variable called negative will contain true or false. All right, and what's this thing going to do? If one of these numbers is negative and the other one is positive, then we're going to return true. Except if the negative thing is true, then only both are negative. So what does this look like? So the first thing to notice is this part here. Let's do this part here. If the parameter negative is true, then we want to check to see whether both are negative. Okay? Now I agree you could write it like this. You could do that if negative is equal to true. So you're going to check the value that's in the variable called negative and see whether it's equal to true. But most people would write like that. All right? Okay. So if negative is equal to true, what do we want to do? We want to see if both are negative, both A or B are negative. Okay? And again, these are our Boolean expressions. I could write something like this. Okay? This is the same. Like that. So I'm going to make a Boolean expression. A is less than 0 will be true or false, and B is less than 0 will be true and false. We're going to combine this true and this true. If they're both true, I get a true out. If one of them is false, I'll get a false out like that. Okay? Okay, so that'll take care of that case, right? Otherwise, I'm going to say if one is negative and the other one is positive. Okay, so how can I do that? Well, let's just try this. I'll make two variables here. Equals A is less than 0 and B is greater than 0. So if A is negative and B is positive, right? B2 is equal to A is, I think for positive I probably want to say greater than or equal to 0, right? If A is greater than or equal to 0, and B is less than 0, so V1 is the A is negative and B is positive, V2 is the other way around. Return V1 or V2. Got it? So now okay. All right, so let's give this a whirl. And we'll notice over here, it gives us a bunch of possibilities. So okay, and they all worked. So what would have happened if I didn't have V2 here? Only if A is negative is B is positive. And I didn't try the other case. So now I'm only checking the A is negative and B is positive, but the other one I'm not checking. Ah, A is positive, B is negative. We get the wrong answer. Okay, there's another one. Okay? So it's going to give you this little table showing you what it tried and the correct answer. And if I had had this on full screen, that would be easier to see, that part over there. All right? So that's the way this works. And for these warm-up things, you can see the solution. It'll show you a solution if you click on that. Got it? All right? All right, so that's all I'm going to show you. For the string ones, remember that you've got your string scripting. We'll take a quick look at one of those. Here is the, for example, front back. A new string where, let me clear it here. we got to make a new string which has the last letter went to the beginning and the first letter went to the end, right? So this was the last letter before, and this was the first letter, right? So you remember we could get the last letter like this, right? And first letter. So str is the name of our string which came in, right? That's actually a bad name for a variable, but that's what they did. So we could get those, right? And we could also get the middle part, and then we could use our string plus and things like that, right? So for fun, let's just do this. So now I'm returning the last letter and then the first letter. Of course, all the stuff in the middle is not going to be any good, right? So that should work on this case here, but it won't work on that case there, and it won't work on that case there. Okay, let's give it a try. Ooh, look, we had string index out of range. So this isn't 0, this is 1, I'm sorry. I'm going to make this just a little smaller so we can see here's the error on the right here, string index out of range. It gives you the error, right? Let's go again. And looks like it's going to be showing us with a string which is too short, right? So if the string was empty, let's just return an empty string. Okay, so here's our test cases. Code, returned E followed by C, and front back returned AA, and notice that the empty string is now working, but all these other cases are not. Okay, that's all. I didn't finish the problem for you. It's in your assignment. Bye.